What happened to Gout Gout? Just 2 months ago, Gout Gout was on top of the sprinting world. The Australian teenager ran a world-leading 19.67 seconds over 200 meters, setting a new World Under-20 record and becoming the fastest man in the world this season. But in his Diamond League debut in Oslo, things looked very different. Gout finished 6th in 20.60 seconds, his slowest race of the season. Olympic champion Letsile Tebogo won comfortably in 19.84, with South Africa's Sinesifo Dambiel finishing 2nd in 20.12. So, what actually happened? The biggest issue was Gout's first 100 meters. Through the opening half of the race, Tebogo split approximately 10.29, while Gout split around 10.68. That's nearly 0.4 of a second lost before reaching the home straight. At this level, that's simply too much ground to make up. Even though Gout is known for his strong finishing speed, he never gave himself a chance to challenge for the win. Watching the race back, he looked nervous before the start and uncomfortable throughout the opening stages, which is understandable. This was his first Diamond League race, his first race against an Olympic champion, and the biggest international race of his career. The result was disappointing, but it's important to keep it in perspective. Gout is still only 18 years old. This was his first real experience against world-class senior competition. And despite running 20.60, there are good reasons not to overreact. One of the biggest talking points after the race has been his 19.67. Some people have started questioning whether that performance was legitimate. However, the evidence doesn't really support that argument. In the same race where Gout ran 19.67, Aiden Murphy ran 19.88. Since then, Murphy has run 20.05. That's only 0.17 of a second slower. If the Sydney race was somehow inaccurate, it becomes difficult to explain why other athletes from that race have backed up their performances elsewhere. A much simpler explanation is that Gout simply had an off day. Travel, pressure, experience, and race execution all play a major role in sprinting. And all 4 factors were working against him in Oslo. That being said, the race did expose one area that still needs improvement: his start. Against junior athletes, Gout can often rely on his incredible top-end speed to recover lost ground. Against athletes like Letsile Tebogo, that's much harder. If Gout wants to become a genuine medal contender at senior level, improving his first 100 meters will be critical. Another interesting point came from Tebogo himself after the race. The Olympic champion suggested that young athletes should be careful not to rush too quickly into senior competition and should continue developing gradually. It's advice worth paying attention to, especially from someone who successfully made the transition from junior star to Olympic champion. Looking ahead, things are about to get even more interesting. American sprint sensation Tate Taylor recently ran 19.97, making him one of the fastest under-20 athletes in the world. Taylor is expected to compete at the World Under-20 Championships later this season, meaning Gout may finally face serious competition at junior level. For a long time, Gout looked untouchable among athletes his age. That may no longer be the case. So what happened in Oslo? The answer is actually quite simple. Gout Gout wasn't exposed. His 19.67 didn't suddenly become fake. And one race doesn't change the fact that he's one of the most talented young sprinters in the world. What Oslo showed is that there is still a gap between dominating junior athletics and competing against Olympic champions. The good news for Gout is that he's only 18, and now he knows exactly what he needs to improve. The next few races, and especially the World Under-20 Championships, will tell us a lot more about where he really stands.